So is this the end of the NCAA as we know it? A bombshell 5-minute conversation might mean that. All that coming up here in about 10 seconds. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, where we take a pensive approach to the sports conversation. And on this video, we're going to talk about the NCAA potentially losing college football and what this all means. So let's dive right in, shall we? Earlier this week, Peter Thamel from ESPN had reported that on Monday, the College Football Committee had a Zoom meeting. And during that Zoom meeting, something was brought up that I feel like has been brewing for over 70 years. In that, it was a 5-minute conversation around college football no longer being governed by the NCAA, them breaking off and letting the College Football Committee be the governing body for the sport. Now, this was a 5-minute conversation. In the report, it says that this is more of a marathon piece, not really a race, could be something long-term, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you why I think that this is significant. And this is why, my friend, this is not the first time this conversation has happened. I'm just going to tell you that now. This is also something that's coming on the heels of Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC and USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten. Money. This is the perfect time for them to start talking about this. So let me kind of give you a little bit of history of why a lot of this starting to brew. Of course, we know the NCAA has done a horrible job of managing college sports, not allowing players to make money majority of their career. So many players could have made a ton of money years ago doing this. And after the ruling with the Supreme Court, the NCAA is now opened up to a ton of antitrust lawsuits. Like, they're basically going to start being targeted very soon on that. And because of that 9-0 decision, basically saying the NCAA is very much unconstitutional in their practice, they're scrambling to figure out what they're going to do next. Now, one thing they did was Mark Emmert, the current president of the NCAA, will be leaving in June. So that's June of 23. This is where this 5-minute conversation becomes significant. With him exiting, a new regime coming in, it's the perfect opportunity for college football to look around and make a decision to do their own thing. The Big Ten just signed a massive $7 billion contract with NBC, CBS, and Peacock, and everybody out there. And so because of that, Big 12's contracts coming up, SEC signing big deals. We're going to have a whole bunch of TV contracts for all these separate conferences that should have been under one big umbrella with the NCAA. Should have been done better. And with the College Football Playoff Committee, even though the playoff isn't perfect, it's probably one of the better setups we have at this level of college football to get us one champion. But this was just a 5-minute conversation, right? That's the thing, is that this is like a volcano that has been brewing for decades and is now ready to erupt. So with Emmert leaving in June, this is, like I said, the perfect opportunity for college football to make the hard decision of moving away, potentially making themselves a minor league sport, paying the players a salary. I'm into that. We'll talk about that some other time. But overall, finding that one champion and giving every team the opportunity to get there is hard. It's a very hard task to be done. And the NCAA has struggled this entire time with it. Let's go back historically. Since 1954, actually since its inception, it's been 11 split national championships, meaning the AP poll and the coaches poll have split up who the title belongs to. AP picks one team, coaches pick one. 54, 57, 65, 70, 73, 74, 78, it all happened. And then it happened back-to-back in 1990 and 91. From there, the Bowl Coalition was created to try to fix that because we want one title. We want one team to be able to claim the national championship. And that lasted up until about 97 when Michigan and Nebraska had a split title. And so then the BCS was created. When the BCS was created, that went up until about 03 when USC and LSU had to split a national championship. So every attempt besides the college football playoff has not led to one title person. Now, like I said, as flawed as the playoff is set up is, it's probably one of the better situations that we've had. And so just because this conversation was only for 5 minutes doesn't mean that this conversation hasn't happened for other 5 minutes down the line. I feel like this is ready for eruption. And so June of 2023 is the perfect time for college football to actually make that move. So even though it was a 5-minute conversation, you hear me saying that a lot, this marathon, they've been training for decades. So this could be the end of the NCAA as we know it. It could be just college football breaks off and everybody else is kind of scrambling for their own thing. I don't know. But I'm going to keep a pulse on this and pay attention, because when this goes down, if it does, it's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, and it's going to be a lot of changes. I don't know what the end result will be, but I am telling you, there is smoke. And when there's smoke, there's definitely fire. Appreciate you tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you want to hear more of my content, mainly OU and college football here on the YouTube channel. And then we talk sports and fantasy sports on the podcast, Unfair Sports, wherever podcasts are downloaded and listened to. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. With that, chop it up in a few days. Peace.